How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So, week 1 of the NFL season is in the books. We move on to week 2. There's some really good underdog bets to cover. Before we do that, I want to recap my week 1 a little bit, see where I went right, see where I went wrong, dipped my toe into the underdog pool. I came out pretty well. 5-3 overall record, up 1.77 units. So, not bad for week 1. Basing most of the predictions on off-season hype. We have some data behind us now as we enter into week 2. Recapping some of the bets that I hit. We hit on the Steelers at 6.5. Only regret there was that I didn't bite on the money line. I wanted to, didn't pull the trigger on it. Lesson learned. Don't doubt Mike Tomlin. It's a sneak peek for what we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But won the spread on that one. That was a wild game for anybody that actually watched it. Also hit on the Lions +4. That Lions team did exactly what I kind of thought that they were going to do this season. They won through the back door. That game really probably shouldn't have been as close as what it was. Eagles were up a ton. But the Lions, to their credit, they fought back and they covered the spread. Division underdog, again, way too many points. Again, going to be a theme that we're going to be covering today. But the Falcons covering 5.5 almost won that game. Saints really snuck out a win last minute. Falcons fans definitely know what that's like. Houston covered at +7. That game ended up in a tie. Vikings, probably my best bet of the week. They won straight up against what we talked about, a very depleted Green Bay offense. With how the Vikings played the Packers in that game, I'm a little surprised that they didn't win by more. But nevertheless, they covered the money line. Again, probably my best bet of the week. So 5 wins. Go through some of the losses. We're going to be talking about the Jaguars in a couple minutes. I've calmed down a little bit since watching that game. They lost outright to the Commanders. The Cardinals got absolutely destroyed by the Chiefs. And the Raiders lost to the Chargers. So, moving on. We're going to forget about that one. Week 2, NFL underdog bets. Let's get started. Okay. I've calmed down. I watched this game. I was angry. I was emotional. I've been talking up the Jags all off season. There was no way in my head that they were going to lose to the Commanders. And they did. They made a lot of mistakes in that game. It was an ugly game offensively. They didn't play that great on defense. I was not happy. There was a point in time where I thought they were going to come back. They could have come back. And mistakes drown this team. But I've had time. I've processed. I've gotten over it. And I'm telling myself that they are a young team. Trevor Lawrence, I still think, is going to be the quarterback that everybody expects him to be. They're in a very weak division. There's no reason to panic on the Jags. They are being given points at home against a Colts team that they have played tough in the past 4 years. The Jags are just that team that the Colts have trouble with in division. And we're not talking about good Jaguar teams. We're talking about Blake Bortles Jaguars teams. We're talking Urban Meyer Jaguar teams. I think that this team eventually will come together. I think it starts this week at home. Division. 4 points is way too many in this game. My confidence is still a little bit shaken with this team. I'm not confident enough to take the money line. But +4, -110, I'm going to be jumping on that before it comes down. Again, we're talking about a Colts team that some people had favored to win this division. At one point against the Texans, the bottom feeder Texans, they were down 20-3. The Colts had to rally to take that game even just to overtime. They couldn't pull the trigger in overtime. They've now cut their kicker, so they're going to be looking for a kicker. They're going to have to sign someone off the street. Division games, kickers are wildly important because they're usually close games. Matt Ryan had an okay game. He threw for about 350, but he did throw a costly pick. There's too many points here. I can't not take the Jags and the points. So I'm going to be locking that bet in. Jags +4, -110. Okay, before we continue, I'm going to be doing this all year. Please, if you like this content, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Set your notifications. I plan on releasing these videos every Saturday, previewing some of the bigger underdog bets and then doing a rapid fire session with other underdog bets that I like. So liking and subscribing really helps. Also, I do post daily bets for NFL, MLB, NHL seasons coming up. Please follow me. My Twitter and my Instagram handle are linked right here and right here. They'll also be in the description down below. So please, if you like the content, even if you don't like the content, give me a like, give me a follow, and comment. Okay, let's talk the other big division underdog bet this weekend. We're talking Saints at home being given plus money against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's no secret, New Orleans is in this weird state right now. They're rebuilding, but they're not rebuilding. They're retooling. They have Jameis Winston at quarterback, who I'm kind of meh on. But again, we have another weak division. Tampa Bay was favored to run away with this division. Tampa Bay has been hit with a slew of injuries. Their receivers are hurt. Their offensive line is hurt. They beat Dallas last week with good defense. The Saints have been an absolute thorn in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side ever since Tom Brady came. They are 4-0 against the Buccaneers since Tom Brady came over. And they've all been defensive wins. They haven't been huge offensive shootouts. So even though New Orleans has a defensive head coach, which I'm not the biggest fan of, I lean more towards offense, I don't think that's going to matter in this game because they've beaten the Buccaneers with defense. Each one of the victories against Tampa Bay since Tom Brady's come has been by about 9 points. Tom Brady has had some of his worst games against this Saints team. This defense seems to overwhelm this Buccaneers offense. Tom Brady's only completed about 61% of his passes, way below what he normally completes. He's going with a depleted receiver core. You look at the injury report for their receivers. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Russell Gage, even Brashad Perryman. As of today, as I'm filming this video, they're all on the injury list. So Tampa Bay is going into this New Orleans game hurt. They have an injured offense, they have a depleted offense, and I think the Saints are absolutely going to take advantage of that. The underdog in this game, no secret because New Orleans has been the underdog in each game, is 4-0 against the spread. So I think you can close your eyes and just pick New Orleans whenever they play Tampa Bay because chances are you're going to at least take the spread. I'm not confident enough to take the money line. Again, plus money, division underdog. I'm going to be taking the Saints. I'm going to lock that bet in. I might hold off and see if it goes to about 3 points. If it goes 3, I will be jumping on it. But right now, you can get 2.5 points at minus 105 on DraftKings. I will be locking that bet in before the weekend. So if you do follow me on other social media where I do post my daily bets, please check it out because I will post it at the best line that I can grab it at. I got to get through this one fast because I am petrified that this line is going to change. Someone has to explain to me how the Steelers are home underdogs. Mike Tomlin, again, an underdog, at home against the Patriots, who, if anybody watched that Patriots-Miami game, you had a rookie offensive coach essentially toying with Bill Belichick, who could go down as one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. This Patriots offense is hard to watch. It's not even interesting to watch how bad they are. They aren't even a good watch. The Steelers are sitting as 2.5 point underdogs. As much as that blows my mind, I think I'm sticking straight to the money line. You can get plus 110 right now. I'm going to lock that bet in as soon as I'm done filming this video because I am petrified that that line is going to change and people are going to wake up and realize, how are the Patriots favored against the Steelers? And this isn't supposed to demonstrate my confidence in the Steelers. I still think they're a third place team at best in that division. This shows my lack of confidence in the Patriots, especially after watching that absolutely horrible game they had against Miami. Steelers, home underdogs, give me the money line, plus 110. I'm locking that down right now before people wake up and realize we cannot have the Steelers underdogs against the 2022 Patriots team. I'm locking that in right now. The last big underdog bet that I really like this week, I love this Vikings team. I had them beating Green Bay last week. That was probably my best bet of the week. I am very high on this Vikings team. I have been since the offseason. I've loved the coaching hire. I like the weapons that they put around Kirk Cousins. I've picked them to win the division over Green Bay. They're one of my underdog division winners that I've posted to Instagram. Follow me. I love this Vikings team. Now, that being said, I also really like this Eagles team. I have them winning their division as well. I think that they are a really great team, but I am that high on this Vikings team. Right now, the Vikings sit as 2-point underdogs, but I'm jumping on the money line, which I can see some books have it at 115 right now. I'll be locking that bet in right after I film this video. The only thing that I'm worried about is that this is a Monday night game, and Kirk Cousins typically does not play well on Monday night. I'm choosing to trust the culture that the Vikings are sort of putting in place in Minnesota. I'm going to trust the coach more than I'm going to trust Kirk Cousins on Monday night. But anybody that watched that Vikings game against the Packers, Justin Jefferson looks like a top 2 receiver, obviously behind Devontae Adams, in the league. How he breaks games open is absolutely unbelievable. And I'm taking the money line, 115. I'm locking that in. Okay, I have 3 quick hitters, teams that I'm going to bet against. This is going to be fast. Get a pen, get ready, let's go. We got Seahawks 49ers. This game, the point spread is everywhere. I've seen it at 8, I've seen it at 10, I've seen it at 9.5. If I can get it at 10 for about minus 110, I think that's way too good to pass up. I think Trey Lance has to look over his shoulder just a little bit. I think that if the 49ers somehow lose this game, when do you start looking at Jimmy Garoppolo to start taking over this offense? I think it's soon. I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm taking the plus 10. I'm locking that in. We got the Bears at the Packers. Again, division game. Is anybody confident enough to give Aaron Rodgers 10 points right now against any team? That offense looked completely listless. He had 2 rookie receivers, both of whom made pretty big mistakes at the beginning of the game and didn't see the ball again until the third, fourth quarter. I don't think the Bears will win this game, but I definitely am not ready to give Green Bay 10 points against an early season divisional game against the Bears. I'm taking the Bears as plus 10 underdogs at minus 110. I'm locking that in right now. Okay. I know I said rapid fire, but I actually had to think about this one even as I was filming it. I'm looking at the Jets, yes, the Jets, as plus 6.5 underdogs against the Browns. I'm going to regret this, most likely, or it's going to go down as probably one of my best bets of the week because it's the Jets. I think I'm going to nab the Jets at 6.5. I wish it was at 7. I'm not seeing it at 7 anywhere. The Browns didn't look good against Carolina. Baker Mayfield beat Carolina when Cleveland was playing at them. I watched Jacoby Brissett play as a backup because that's exactly what he is. The Jets at least have a defense. You look at how they played the Ravens and you look at the score, they got absolutely drubbed by the Ravens, but they did outgain them in yards. Now, I know that a lot of that was garbage yards, but I think I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take the 6.5. I'm seeing it at about minus 108. I'm going to lock that in right now, and we'll see how it goes. Those are my week 2 picks. To recap, we have the Vikings on the money line against the Eagles. We have the Steelers on the money line against the Patriots. I'm taking the Saints at plus 2.5 against the Bucks. And I'm taking the Jags at plus 4 against the Colts. I'm taking the Seahawks at plus 10 against the 49ers. I'm taking the Bears at plus 10 against the Packers. And I'm taking the Jets at plus 6.5 against the Browns. That one I am looking forward to seeing how it plays out because I'm either going to be laughed at or I'm going to be made to look like a genius. That's it for this week's preview and my picks. Please, like I said, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing this every week. Comment down below. Follow me on my other social media, my Twitter, my Instagram. I do post my daily picks there with little descriptions as to why I'm betting the way I'm betting. It's fun, it's sports, it's NFL, it's week 2. Everybody happy betting.